Hi there and welcome to the Dawn Show. Dawn Stensland-Menti here. We're talking about foster care, and again, you know, after decades of being in the news and news coverage, I always want to talk about the solutions rather than the problems, because how often do we see in the headlines children embattled and social workers embattled? But here we're talking about people who are part of the solutions. And so one of those people we want to introduce is Wendy Graham, who's the CASA Executive Director, and CASA stands for Court Appointed Special Advocates.
Got it.
So
good job.
Thank you very much. And CASA also has the double meaning of home,
Yes.
and we want to give these kids a home.
Absolutely.
So Wendy, welcome. It's good to have you here.
Thank you. It's nice to be here.
So what is CASA? I mean, if you explain it in a nutshell.
Sure. Basically, again, it stands for Court Appointed Special Advocates. What we do is essentially recruit community volunteers without any specific background or experience, people just like yourself. We put you through a lot of training, about 30 hours of in-classroom training, and then eventually you're sworn in by a family court judge to be an advocate for a child that's placed in the foster care system, a child that's been abused or neglected. And again, it's a family court judge who appoints a CASA volunteer to a child or a sibling group with the goal that the CASA volunteer, will get to know that child, talk to teachers, social workers, really anyone that's involved in that child's life, visit the child once a month, and then come to court, tell the judge and all the parties on the case what's going on with the child, how they're doing, if they have any concerns, if there's things that we would like to see happen, and even an opportunity to tell the judge what the child wants in case the child can't be in court.
And you look at these numbers, though, since just 2006, CASA Philadelphia training and supporting 175 CASA volunteers who then advocated for 415 abused and neglected children. It's incredible to think one CASA supervisor is over 30 CASA volunteers, over 75 children. The statistics are pretty amazing, and I guess speak for themselves as far as the success of the program.
Yeah, I think so. We've only been around since 2006, so we're still a fairly young program. There are CASAs all across the country, over 900 CASAs with 70,000 volunteers. But unfortunately, Philadelphia did not have a viable CASA program in 2006 when we started. And for me, it seems like we served 200 kids this year. That's amazing. But there's so many kids who need a CASA. There's over 4,000 kids.
You think of 4,000 every year. A new group of children.
Well, new kids, it's about 1,000 new kids. And, on any given day, there's about 4,000 kids in foster care just in Philadelphia County.
Which is incredible.
It's a lot.
And that's what we were talking about before the show, Wendy, is that people might not, when you think about the headlines, but then you think about, okay, there are thousands of children out there who need help. At the same time, we have budget cuts going on across the board in our country, not just Philadelphia. And so what you have is kids who fall through the cracks. And it seems like CASA is just a solution-based program that says we're going to reach out and help those kids.
Absolutely. And one of the things we provide is a way for the community to get involved in the child welfare system. There's always a need for foster parents, but that's a pretty big commitment for some people to make. So people who want to make a difference in the lives of an abused or neglected child, this provides them with an opportunity. Also, a lot of child welfare systems are very secretive and closed, and it's hard to find out what's going on. And I think that by having the community involved in this way through a trained, respected program, you can really shine a light on what's going on in that system.
And 2006, was a horrible year in essence when we heard about, a horrible case in the headlines. But at that time, it was just all you heard about was kids that fell through the cracks and the system failed them. Was CASA brought in because of that particular year where the headlines were horrible, or was that a coincidence?
It was actually a coincidence, but I think that case really helped us tie the need in Philadelphia for a CASA program. If that case had had a CASA, for example, they visit the child every month, they would have seen that she was deteriorating her health, and they would have been able to tell a judge or to tell somebody what was going on. Part of the commitment that a CASA volunteer makes is to see the child in their home once a month. And again, that makes us really a powerful voice for kids.
And so in essence, you have to work with the social workers. You have to work with DHS closely, right?
Yeah, absolutely. They're our partners. I mean, we couldn't do what we do without the social workers, without the attorneys, the judges, and we try not to set up a a dynamic where we're at odds with one another. We're all there to help the child. Some of the workers just happen to be very overwhelmed, large caseloads, and our volunteers are just really working on that one child or sibling group, and they can really take the time and get to more of the heart of the case and find out more information than a social worker who is overwhelmed or an attorney who has 200 kids on his caseload.
Well, and it's amazing, and we're showing the stats as we're talking, just the impact of the CASA volunteers and the impact that they make, that when they come in and they make that one child feel so important, and then that one child is more likely to do better in school, is more likely to stay and have a stable fostering experience rather than moving from school to school and home to home. And so we see the evidence in all of these wonderful statistics that these kids, it's meaningful to them and it's meaningful to the program.
Absolutely. The difference that one caring adult can make in the life of a child is remarkable. I was talking earlier about, we have a case actually where the kid's been in care since 2007 and with the same volunteer. Which is amazing, and to have that person there through everything that this child's been through has been so important. Again, just having a caring adult involved in your life. We ask volunteers right up front to make a 2-year commitment because we know that's at least how long the kids will stay in care.
It's a big commitment, and you're going to meet some of the volunteers coming up. But first, we just want to talk about this event you're having.
Okay.
So that we can, and we'll tell you about it throughout the show. But I just want to get it in there that you're having an event so that people can go to, that people can attend, and really support what you're doing. So it's the CASA Philadelphia. This is the first ever superhero 5K walk. So we really hope that everybody can make it out here. It's Sunday, October 13th. The walk starts bright and early, 8:30 a.m. It's at the Philadelphia Zoo, so it's a family event. It's a lot of fun. So we just want everybody to be out there and be superheroes for our kids. And it's also, I think, good, for me, I take my little boys, my 6 and 9-year-old, to events like this. It's good for your kids to go to these kinds of events, to know that it's important to pay it forward, to give back, and all that good stuff. All right, stay right here, Wendy, and we're going to be right back. You're going to meet some of the special CASA volunteers as the Dawn Show continues.